The Tim Heale Thirsty Thursday live stream from 7 until 9 weekly. Here's your host, Tim Heale.
And I also think that we are sat on top of a volcano at the moment. I think we are on a precipice. I think we are going to see in the not too distant future a huge amount of mental health issues coming our way. And a lot of that is down to that pandemic and the responses to it and the way that it was handled. And it's not just the UK, it's across particularly the Western world that has been locked down and unable to have a normal sort of life. And I think the mental health problems that people have suffered through that pandemic are just going to get worse. And I think we haven't seen the worst of it yet on the mental health front, and I think there will be a lot more suicides to come and a lot more people are going to be struggling. And I think it's down to everybody to get a word out there that we need to do something more to be there for people that are struggling.
I sadly agree. I wish I didn't, but I do totally agree. I think that this is almost like a pandemic in itself that we have not talked about that is coming. And I think something that you just said sparked something for me that yes, we want to be able to provide help for people who are experiencing those at that point in time. I think we also need to be providing support for families, for recognizing signs, because it's a very isolating experience for everyone. Like, you want to talk stigma, the stigma goes all the way across, and it's all of a sudden so many people are struggling in shame. And so I think that the more we can continue to open up conversations like we're having now, we know this is a difficult conversation, but we're all doing it. And I think it's so important. And again, I thank you for opening up this door. I think that I wish it had been a little bit more normalized or not so stigmatized as we were going through this. It just was not. It was not. Instead, it was very much the answers of, why don't you do something? I'm like, I don't know what to do anymore. I don't know what to do. So it's if we can support families at the same time and help them, then that might help them with their families. Not that they're going to fix something that they can't fix, but it's just that support across the board can go a long ways.
Yeah. I think it's just letting people know that it's okay to not be okay. Mm-hmm. And that if they need that help, you're there for them. And if they do ask for that help, just make sure that you drop everything and it might just be sitting down for half an hour with a cup of coffee and letting them unload. And just say, that's fine. Just give them that encouragement that it's okay for that. And if we all do that, and we can all bring this subject out in the open, for so long it's been a taboo. It's been one of those taboo subjects. It's like talking about death. It's a taboo subject. People don't like talking about it. It's the one thing that we're all going to do one day, and nobody wants to talk about it.
There's so many things. My brain is like on fire right now, and I want to contribute on so many different levels, and I know I'm going to forget over half of the things that I really want to say. One of them is, the really sad thing is that as long as people are comfortable, there will not be any change. It is when people are really uncomfortable that things start to change. And if you want change, we're going to get really uncomfortable before that happens. There are going to be a lot more conversations like this where people are like, this shit is wrong and it needs attention and we've got to do something different. It will not happen until people are unbelievably uncomfortable. Nick, I want to respond to your, if you break a leg, you go to the hospital. Why is it that mental health is so stigmatized. The thing is that when you break a leg, when you break an arm, when you fall and hit your head, it's a visible injury. People see that and they're like, oh, I see that. Let me help take care of you. Let me support you. Let me give you what you need. Let me bring food in. You just had a baby and you can't really feed all your family, whatever it is, but it's visible. It is something people can see. It is an ailment that you are now differently abled in some way, shape, or form, and you need assistance and support. Mental health is not like that. It is invisible. It is invisible because we don't talk about it, because we don't step up, because we don't verbalize it, because we can't, because it's stigmatized, it's hidden, and it's by its very nature, it is hidden inside the storms of our mind. So why is it stigmatized? It's hidden. We need to bring it out of hiding by talking about it, just like we're doing right here in this moment together. And I fully agree with you. The best thing, the most valuable thing that you can give anybody in that moment is time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I'd just like to ask everybody that's watching this to share it, to get that message out there. Share it on your social media. Let other people know that what we've talked about tonight, it's okay to have this discussion.
Mm-hmm.
And it's very, very, very important, because we are. You think the COVID was a crisis. You think that was a pandemic. I think you're going to see a mental health crisis coming our way, and it's going to be a tsunami because of that lockdown. I just want to say hi to James. James is coming in with some really real stuff here. I had a chat with James a little while ago. He's a great guy.
I just talked to James yesterday.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hi, James.
Did you tell him we was coming on here tonight?
No, I didn't. I was just on his show yesterday. He was on mine last month.
He's a great guy. I was on his show a little while ago, and he was on mine. So I think his episode just come out a week or so ago. So, yeah. James is in this caper the same as us. I mean, he's on the same mindset of getting this out there. So, thanks for being there, James. Don't forget to click the like button and subscribe. And anybody else that's out there, click that like button. Let's put the care button up, put the love button up, and just share it. Just get the message out there, because the more people that are sharing this message, the more people are going to destigmatise it, and that's one of the key messages that we're trying to get out there. That everybody has a mental health issue at some stage in their life, and it's how it's dealt with at the time. So many people just bottle it up and bottle it up and bottle it up, and then all of a sudden one day they jumped in front of a bus, or they leapt in front of a train, or you find them hanging in the garage, or so. And that's because they haven't been able to talk about it, because it's been stigmatised for so long. And thanks, Richard. It's nice to know that people are still out there. We've still got lots of people listening, I think. So it's really important that we push this message out there. I know the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge is one of their big things is looking at mental health, and I think if they're on board with it, then it's good that we're all doing it and supporting them. Or is it the other way around? They're supporting us. We are the people that really matter. It's okay for a big celebrity to say yes, this and that, and mental health's fine, but it's the ordinary people. It's the people like us that have to do the hard work of destigmatising this problem that we're going to be facing, and And we've all been down that road at some stage. We've all had dark moments, and I defy anybody that hasn't. So we all know it's there. It's like dying. We all know we're going to die one day, but why do we find it so difficult to talk about death? Why do we find it so difficult to talk about a mental health problem that we've got?
If
So
you
there
look,
you go. That's a
Yeah.
jump off the soapbox.
yeah. If you look,
James
I was-
put something else here. What's
sorry,
he
mate.
put? Oh, thanks, James. I think you're pretty cool yourself. Oh dear, I'm starting to fall to bits now. Well, we got about 20 minutes left of the show, and I think we've gone dark enough for a while. So I think we should finish on a bit of a high. Let's have a bit of a giggle. Let's talk about some funny stuff. let's give everybody a boost instead of sort of leaving anybody depressed and yeah, we don't want to cause problems.
well, we can turn it positive.
Absolutely, there it is. Let's go positive.
Yeah. So, like say, responding to Tony's coffee house, a very hard subject needs to be talked about. Let's make it an easy subject.
Yeah.
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 It's so easy to talk about it. We've
Yeah.
been talking about it for the last hour.
This
and a
is
half,
how easy
hour and
it
40
is.
Minutes.
Yeah. Look at how easy it is because we're doing it. The inevitable wake up call that you talk about, Tim, this precipice. We can have faith that we are gonna. This is the maybe like I say, it's good. There's going to be discomfort, but maybe this is the great thing that is going to bring us all together. Yeah, maybe have that faith that this is the moment when, as the 8 billion, we're going to start coming together, and you can see that unrest, and there's a shake up happening, and you kind of you can have hope in that. You don't have to have despair in that. You can think that here it comes. We can and let's have if we hit this precipice with the positive light, there's only good things really can happen with that. And before I forget, there was this quote kept coming to mind all the way through, and it's a quote that's really appropriate, and it's from Simone Weil, and the quote is, attention is the purest form of generosity. And if you just think about that and let that phrase do its work, attention is the purest form of generosity. The most generous thing you can do in its most purest form is to pay attention. And I think that is kind of at the heart of everything that we're talking about, really. I love it. It's one of my favourites. So yeah, there's my positive message for now.
Wicked. So
That's the crowning quote. We're done. Good job.
now what we're going to do? You just kind of finish the show.
Well, it's still we can still be. We've now got fun time, haven't we? We've got the.
We have,
Yeah.
So let's finish on some high notes. Let's get away from the sort of doom and gloom. We all accept that we all need to highlight that not being okay is okay.
Mm-hmm.
Suicide, MASH. You seen this film MASH? Suicide is painless. Do, 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 do. There you go. The actual film, the film MASH.
I haven't seen it.
There's a sequence in there that one of the doctors is so depressed and I forget exactly how it happened, but this song's playing and they're all gathered round and he's looking at suicide and He's laying in the coffin, and I forget it, and that's the song that's playing. Suicide is painless. Da, 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 da. You didn't know I could sing, did you?
So many
You still
talents.
don't.
Right? You told me you couldn't sing, but you have now sung on our podcast and in person. So I'm thinking there's
Yeah, I
more
know.
going on here.
I've got another song to do tomorrow. Tomorrow's. I don't know whether we should be sharing this. Okay, this. I'm. What's,
Final directions. You know, I recently went to a celebration of life for a dear friend who passed, and her life partner got up and he said, "Okay, guys, listen, she wouldn't want us crying. She was one who loved life, and she believed that the reason we are here is to love one another. So what I want to happen is anytime I get emotional and I can't get through it, I just want everyone to cheer for me, cheer me on."
Oh.
So every time he paused and we could tell he was emotional, it was this huge cheer that went up. Everyone was clapping,
Brilliant.
hooting and hollering, cheering him on, saying, "You've got this, Dave. You can do this." And then he was able to talk again and move on because he was reminded of her. And we did it for her kids, both of her kids, and everyone who spoke. And then her favorite thing was watermelon. So we had watermelon at this. It was just this sweet tribute. It was this moment where we all got to literally celebrate this life in a beautiful up moment and look at it as a life does continue going on and we are left behind, and yet we want to find the joy in the moment that's here. That was hers, and her essence has moved on, and yet we get to carry a piece of her essence forward and live life remembering we're here because of love. We're here to love and support each other. So
How
Catherine,
right
that's a
you are,
very
Catherine.
deep statement.
I love that. I love the cheering on.
And that is so true as well. It's not painless. It just moves the pain onto others, and I can vouch for that. Definitely vouch for that. Thank you, Catherine, for sharing that.
I always found that themes.
Catherine is Harry's wife.
Oh.
So
Sorry
yeah, we're going to
for
be
your
together.
loss.
Gonna be together in a couple of weeks.
I always found that song rather odd. I loved the show MASH. I watched the TV show as it was in syndicate and really enjoyed it. And when I found out what the words to that theme song were, I was a little put off and frustrated because I really liked the tune, but I didn't like the words that go with it, because it is, we're left behind saying, now what? Where do we go? How do we survive? How do we move on without this person that was such a huge part of our life? And the way that we move on is remembering them, honoring them, because we're not ever going to forget them. We have to remember that. We have to honor and respect that. And talking about them keeps them alive. And we keep living for the next day because we are still here, and there's still something that we can do. We can be that voice piece saying, I was left behind and I'm really upset about that, and I want to ensure that other people don't go through it. So I'm going to add my voice to the voice of others that let's change this conversation. Let's open it up. Let's make it easier and lighter and more approachable for everyone.
So Nick's just come up with something. I've left instructions when I die on Arthur Church.
Trickster.
Yeah.
And James has popped something else in. Look. I've got a wand and everything. I've got a wand. Hold it there.
He's got a
Back
wand.
in a second.
Yeah.
Harry Potter.
Do you start calling in Timbledore?
Here's me wand.
Very
And
good.
what's the
Magic.
core? What's the core of
What's
your
that?
wand?
Phoenix.
Of course.
Pliable. very, very powerful.
I'll keep my distance.
And I don't use abracadabra either.
Nice.
So
Very
I'd
good.
like to thank everybody for apparating here tonight. So we're all in a different room in Heale Manor. Blimey.
This has just been a really great conversation, and I am really grateful to have been a part of it, to be asked to be here today and just chat with you, beautiful people, Marsha and Chris, and all of you who have been chatting and commenting. I just thank you, Tim, for bringing us together and letting us talk about some subjects that really need more visibility and more words, just more.
Well, that's because I brought the magic. Just like James said, I brought the magic. And I'm looking at doing more of these type of specials because I feel really passionate about this subject.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm a veteran, so that's and having seen lots and lots of my mates lost them over the years, it's really important that we try and save everyone that we can. Mm-hmm. Anyway, what I was saying before. What was I saying? Oh yeah, I'm not sure whether I should say this, but I'm taking part in Leader. I don't know whether you heard of Leader. It's live every day in August, and it's a closed Facebook group that's run by Pod Pros, and I've got my live to do a little bit after this because I haven't done it today. I wanted to see how this went to be able to do my live, and today's mission, should you choose to accept it, is all to be not vain and talk about yourself and what positivity that you bring, and just big yourself up. So I think I'm going to have quite some fun with this one tonight. And it's been a real challenge because they've gone in really covering some really deep subjects about yourself, and it's all this whole process that we're going through it's giving you a better presence on screen. It's giving you more confidence to be on screen live. It's all about doing live shows. Mm-hmm. I think I've half cracked it. I don't know what you guys think. I think I'm doing all right. I'm not rubbish at it, but I could improve. And every day's a school day. So.
And you're remembering to unmute your mic.
Oh, don't. Oh, why did you have to do that?
Because you're getting better. You're improving.
Yeah, it was just a reminder. That's all.
Yeah, it was only about 3.5 minutes today.
What was it, last week?
4.
Oh, was it? That's a personal best.
Mm-hmm.
He's improving.
Yeah. We've got a PB going.
PB 3.5 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
beautiful.
What's this? So we're coming to the end of the show. We've only got about a few minutes left, about 10 minutes left. I mean, we could go all night. We could go on and on and on. I mean, it's such a big subject that we need to highlight, and it's thanks to you guys for coming on and helping me out. It's always a bit of a concern. It's not a worry because there's no point in worrying. I have this theory about worry. There's no point in worrying if you can do something about it. If you can't do anything about it, there's no point in worrying about it. Mm-hmm. So it's always a little bit of a concern on a Thursday, around about 5 to 7, when I've got nobody sat in the green room. and I'm thinking, I've got 2 hours. How am I going to get through 2 hours? What am I going to waffle about tonight? Can I keep going for 2 hours? I have done in the past. It's a nightmare. But, I mean, Harry used to come to my aid most weeks
Oh,
when he wasn't falling asleep in front of the telly. So, what I'd like to put out there, I'm looking for a co-host to come on the Thursdays, and maybe just a guest co-host once in a while, and maybe a co-host every week. So if you're up for being a co-host, maybe just once a month or something like that. Then I'm looking for a co-host for the Thursday live stream, and as you can see, we have a varied number of topics that we talk about. Some we have serious topics, some we have not so serious topics, and some we just talk about rubbish.
one person's
some we just
rubbish is
have
another
fun.
person's treasure.
There you go.
Absolutely.
Nice.
So, oh look, it just turned up. We fireman from Germany. We served together years ago, Tim and I, and he's now a fireman in northern Germany, right up on the border with the Danes, and his jurisdiction goes across the border. So if he has a fire one place, he'll go across and help and fight it. He was going to come on last week, but he was attending a massive, great big fire, big forest fire. So he let me down and went firefighting instead.
Important.
Yeah, important. Put the fire out, I guess.
Yeah.
But
Priorities.
there's fires all over the place at the moment. Alles über the Platz, as they say in Germany. And it's just one of those things that you get lovely weather like this, and then you've got the BBC over here. I don't know whether you get the BBC where you are, but the BBC are calling it a crisis, and this. I mean, everybody's going to die. I mean, you even got the weather people now sort of putting in their two pennyworth about the doom and gloom of it all. But yeah. So, what we're talking about? Where are we getting to? I'm rambling. I'm waffling again. I'm waffling. I'm filling.
I will fill if you want. I'll fill one. I'm gonna speak on and piggyback on what Crystal was saying, and just honestly thank you for the time space. It was great to connect and meet. All of you have another conversation again, Tim. I think we're having another one very soon. Yeah, so it's honestly the only way. This is the only way. It's not going to be a one and done having conversations like this that make a change. It's continuing the conversations. And that's one of the things I think that when, I don't know, like for us, it's like Bell Let's Talk Day. We have it once a year and everybody's like, see, we're doing a great job. I'm like, it's one day out of 365. Yes, it's a step, but it's a blip. We have to do more and normalizing conversations. And I think bringing people together to do things like this, to have the uncomfortable conversations where we can all grow and help each other is really important. So I thank you for having me as part of it today.
And I just wanted to second my own appreciation and gratitude for having met you all again. Well, again, Tim and Crystal and Marsha for the first time. It's been an absolute pleasure.
Well, you know how to get hold of Crystal and Marsha, don't you?
Podcast.
Same way I got hold of you.
Oh, the pod match.
Pod match.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
There we go. I'm having a 3-week holiday at the moment on my Calendly. I'm just enjoying a lovely break, so I've got another couple of weeks left.
That's wonderful.
before that. Perfect subject for this topic actually, because I noticed I was hitting a bit of burnout, and I thought, right, I need to do something about this and and sometimes one of the big things that gets in the way is that this we get convinced that we're letting people down if we have a bit of time off, which you're not. Just have a bit of time. You're letting people down more. Well, you're not letting people down ever, but you're not able to do anywhere near as much if you don't have a break, and then you do burn out. So, yeah, no, you're never letting anyone down. It doesn't exist. We just get confused. That's all.
Well, I've got this plan. You see, I've got this bit of a plan. I'm off on holiday the second half of September, and with these live streams, it's kind of consistency that keeps your audience engaged. So the plan I've got is if I can't manage to get on while I'm on holiday because I'm somewhere I ain't got a signal or something like that, I'm going to have a couple of Thursday live streams pre-recorded in the bag to pop up. So I might be coming round and we might have a bit more of a chat and continue the conversation, and maybe come up with some other bits of subject. So if you're up for that, then we can do some pre-records.
Sure. Why not?
I love it. Can I say one quick thing? Sorry, Chris,
can.
I love that you said about like booking that time. And I don't know if we said that in the beginning or if I forgot, but I think it's so important to even look at your own schedule and recognize like when you are feeling the burnout, what it looks like. When I first started in business, it was like I would work and take any clients and time. And then it was like, this is not working. And so now, I mean, I even go ahead when I start to feel like, okay, I need a break. I'll go ahead on my schedule and start blocking time off, and no one can get into it. And it's so important to recognize when we need that time and space. And it only allows us to come back stronger anyways. It's not, everyone's fine. We're all podcasters. We have content galore. People can go back. Like if I'm not putting out enough content by now, there's no amount of work I can do to fix that. So I think we have to recognize that we've been giving for a long time, and there's a lot of content that's available out there. So it's our health, mental health, physical, emotional is incredibly important.
Yeah,
absolutely.
That's so true. And knowing that break is there.
Pardon?
Sorry, I was just going to say, once you've set that block, knowing that it's there makes such a massive difference.
Honestly, I did it yesterday. I've looked at it and it's like, oh, it's coming. It's coming. And it's just so good. But even 2 years ago, I wouldn't have even considered doing that. Now it's like, where do I need the breaks? And how do I plan that time out accordingly? And it's the best thing I've ever done. I wish I would have understood that sooner.
Yeah.
So it's okay to rest. If you're listening, it's okay to rest. It's okay to have downtime. It's okay to like be away and not be on our phones all the time either. So yeah.
And that is another thing about looking after your own well-being.
Yep.
Is to take that time, have that break. Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. Well, guys, I'm just about to wrap the show up. So if you want to hang about in the green room for a few minutes after, we'll have a quick wash up.
Sure.
After I've closed the show. So how are we going to do this? So thanks very much, Chris. I'll just give you a see you soon. Marsha, thanks again for joining. Crystal, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Well, it's just me left just to watch the show, just to finish the show. Well, if you've enjoyed this evening, is enjoy a word to use really? If you found the content that we've done, that we've talked about this evening, fascinating, please share it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to just pop this down. Once we've done, I'm going to do a little quick edit, put a top and tail on it, and then I'll put it back up on to YouTube so it's there. Please encourage people to watch it back, because the message that we're trying to push out is it's okay to not be okay, and you need to talk about this subject. So just a final, if I can find it, reminder of what we've got coming up. Oh no, I ain't got it right ready. Where is it? It must be that one. Yes. So next one we've got coming up is we've got the rugby special on the 1st of September. That's going to be a fun evening. 8th of September, archaeological special. That's going to be another fascinating one. And then the big one at the end of September, we're looking at veterans' mental health and what we can do about the rate of suicides in our veterans and what we can do to help. So if you've enjoyed it, please share it as much as you can. It's an important message that we need to get out across the world.
The Tim Heale Thirsty Thursday live stream from 7 until 9 weekly.